Hey everybody, Weem here. Tonight I want to take a quick minute or five or so to talk about some questions that I've been asked recently. And these are questions that I've actually never been asked until the last month or so, and they seem to keep coming up. Now, it's on the topic of game developers sending games, or YouTubers asking for games, or paid promotions, things like that. And I think it has something to do with a lot of the larger YouTube channels talking quite frequently about this stuff lately. I'm sure it's kind of related to that. And one in particular, Boogie2988, is actually a channel that I watch all the time. And in fact, he put up a video today that was called "The Truth About YouTube Brand Deals," paid promotions, brand deals, things like that. And it got me thinking about this, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to make a video real quick. I keep getting these kinds of questions, and it's kind of related to that stuff. So let me address those. So one of the questions that gets asked to me a lot, again, recently is, do game developers send me games? And also, do I ask for games from developers? So as far as the first one goes, I do have games sent to me quite frequently. I get a game. For a while, I was getting them every day. I think I get games most days, and then every once in a while I have a day or two go by where I don't have one sent to me. Now, these run the gamut. These are mobile games. This is stuff for, on iOS. It's, Steam, it's PC, it's not, it's like web browser based, it's all over the place, all kinds of games. And 90% of these I can look at right away and just say, nope, it's not A, one I'm interested in, and B, anything that I think you guys would be interested in, at least as far as the channel goes. I have to look at the channel, look at the games I play there, and then say, does it really fit there? And then, of course, it has to look like it's enjoyable to me. So like I said, 90% are out right there. Now, occasionally there's some. It's very rare. There are some that pop through that I say, okay, that looks kind of cool, and I check out. And then I eventually do bring to the channel. So it does happen. But these usually, like I said, they come unsolicited. I'm on a few lists of people, I guess YouTubers who do indie games. So I get a lot of stuff sent to me. Now, when it comes to those games, I've never been, let me go back to the question. I think a lot of people are asking the question, do you get these, and do you do any of this stuff? Do you get paid for this stuff? I think people are asking, again, because everybody's talking about it right now, but I think it kind of comes down to, are you, under anyone's thumb, essentially, with any of these games that you're playing? And I think that's at the heart of the question. And the answer to that is absolutely not at all. These games come out of nowhere, and usually in the rare cases, well, in fact, always, in the rare cases that there's a game, I'm trying to phrase this right, in the rare cases that there's a game that I say, oh, that's cool, I might bring that to the channel, I always give a disclaimer. When somebody sends it to me, I go, okay, you know what, that looks fun, I'm going to play it. I say, but I got to tell you, I have to enjoy this game a lot, and it has to not have a lot of problems. Otherwise, it's not showing up on the channel. And everybody always responds to that like, oh, absolutely, no problem. So that's kind of my guideline. I only bring it to the channel if I really enjoy it, and if it doesn't have a lot of bugs or any major problems or anything. Because I don't really like watching videos where people are complaining or they have to keep restarting or anything like that. As I used to say back in the day, I'm here sharing my positive experiences, and so you might wonder, man, you know what, he doesn't actually complain about games or review them or anything. No, I'm not a reviewer, not at all. I'm simply sharing games on my channel that I'm having fun with. So that's really what this, comes down to. That's my rule. So when they're sending me those games, it has to match that. And I always tell people that, I've got to have fun, and it can't have a lot of bugs, or else I'm just not going to do it. Now, when I do ask for games, because I certainly do that, and Creativerse is the most recent one, I sent them a message and said, hey, this game looks fun. Do you do anything for press? Do you provide any press copies? Because I'd be interested in checking it out. And then I always say, but just so you know, on my channel, I only bring it to the channel if I'm having a lot of fun with it and I don't have bugs. Don't run into any major problems. And that's always been fine with everybody too. They say, yeah, oh, absolutely, of course. And in the case of Creativerse, they sent me, 3 copies. I sent 2 to my friends, and we played some multiplayer. I played 5 hours on Sunday. Just to get used to the game. I told my friend, come over, let's play this game. Let's see, let's kind of I want to get used to it. I want to see what it's all about, and then I can decide whether I want to bring it to the channel or not. When we were done, I was like, I want to play again. Let's get together next weekend and play again. So it was kind of like, absolutely, we're bringing this to the channel. I'm going to show you guys this thing. So that's kind of my rule of operation as it is. My channel is just about me sharing the games with you that I'm enjoying. I'm in no financial position to be concerned about money when it comes to YouTube. I don't need any money from YouTube. I certainly make money from YouTube. I get it strictly from advertising, and that kind of goes to another question I've been asked a couple times, whether I get, whether I do any paid promotions. I've never done any. I've never been paid for anything. The only money I make is from advertising. And the benefit there is that advertising can help me use that money and turn it back around into the channel, whether it's a new mic, any new software, or games that I maybe can't get a copy of, that kind of stuff. And really the reason I ask for copies of games is simply because there's a lot I want to play, and I can't just go buy all of these different games that, seem like might be okay and then barely play them and then say never mind. So I certainly present it up front when I contact a developer. I say, hey, I'm interested in playing this. I'm wondering if you guys have any, if you're doing any press copies for YouTubers. Here's my channel, and I provide that so they can look at it and they can decide, well, does it fit with his channel? Is he the kind of person we want playing it? I'm giving them, look at it and you decide. If you don't want me to have it, it's totally cool. And I might not even bring it to the channel. So I'm definitely leaving it in their hands when I'm contacting them. And like I said, I'm always giving them that disclaimer that it's not coming to my channel unless I absolutely enjoy it and it doesn't have a lot of problems. So that's pretty much the background there. Like I said, I've never done any paid promotions, and just so you guys know, I am a much too small channel for that. I know some people tell me, I do hear it all the time, very large channel, that kind of stuff. It really isn't. I think that there's certainly a lot that are much bigger than I am that probably still haven't done promotion, any kind of paid promotion at all. Certainly no one's reaching out to me at all. I've never even needed to turn one down. It's just never happened. I might be able to reach out to somebody, about maybe a particular product or something. Maybe there's things I could do, but it's never really entered my mind because I just don't need to. And to me, it's just a headache. So it would really take somebody coming to me with something that I was like, oh, I love that anyway, and then I might, consider it. But I just am not in that place. A lot of people doing those kind of paid promotions with the larger channels, it's their everyday job, and they need to make money on YouTube. They need to make money. It's their full-time job. So it's almost a requirement, that they kind of consider those offers. And for me, it's just, that's not even a thing. You know what I mean? This is all just about, once again, me just playing games and sharing it with you guys. So anyway, now some of this touches a little bit on another question I get asked a lot too, so I'm going to kind of throw this one in here. Not really related, though it is related to money, I suppose. I get a lot of questions along the lines of, should I buy this game? Or is this game worth it? And those things make me so nervous because, as I said, I don't do reviews, and I bring these games to my channel and I have fun with them. And so in a sense, if you think about the rules it takes for a game to come to my channel, that I have to be having a lot of fun and that there can't be any bugs, in a sense you could say, well, that pretty much means that any game you're bringing to your channel, you would recommend other people play. I would say yes to that, but with the disclaimer that money is different for everyone. And your personal preference may vary. Just because I enjoy a game doesn't mean you will. And just because, I may buy a game and not think much of it that costs $40 doesn't mean that somebody else isn't gonna look at that and go, $40 is really expensive. One of the first things I tell people when they say, is it worth it? Like, should I buy it? I say, you know what? I can't answer that question because your disposable income is different than mine, and your opinion is going to vary from mine. I'm in a position where, for example, I told somebody one time, to me, a $10 burrito for lunch, that's a normal thing. My lunch might be $10 to $20 every single day. So for me, a game that costs $15, it's not really that big a deal. That's a lunch to me. But to other people, they don't have the money. They might have $3 and say, oh, I can afford a $3 game. So I can't just say, yeah, this game is worth it for $20, because they might look at that and go, well, that's going to take me like 2 months to have that money. There's a lot of viewers who are much younger. They rely even on allowance. They are not old enough to work. So I can't just say, yeah, I recommend this game $50. Yeah, you certainly should spend your money on it, because that's going to be, a really big thing for them to get that money together. So I really back away from this. I never recommend, I've never said, go buy this game, it's amazing. I'll tell you that I'm really enjoying it. That's what you're going to hear from me. When you say, is it worth it? I say, well, I'm having a lot of fun with it. So, and then I might, one of the things I end up doing is I tell you about the hours I put into it. Life is Futile is a question I get a lot recently. Is it worth it? Because it's $40 to get into this alpha. And essentially what I tell people is, for one, I got the game for free. The dev gave me the game, right? So that's, there's that. Now, setting that aside, I put in 50 plus, I think almost 60 hours right now. To me, that much time, I wouldn't mind paying $40. To other people, completely different. So I can't just answer that question, is it worth it? So anyway, I know that only is going to help for those of you actually listening along here, which isn't going to be a whole lot. I'm still going to get those questions, and it's not a big deal to those who do ask me that. I understand that each person's an individual. It doesn't matter if I answer it, 5 times in a row that I can't, answer that question. The next person that comes along doesn't know that. So I'm still going to get those questions. But I thought I would throw that out there for those of you who are listening to this, so you have an idea, for the future, if you ever wonder, hey, I wonder if Weem thinks this is worth buying. You can certainly ask me, but I'm not really going to give you the answer that you're looking for. I'm just going to tell you whether I enjoyed it or not, and hope that you can go off of that. And if you tell me that, hey, I bought a game because of your, videos, I'll tell you right now, I'm nervous every time. I'm like, oh man, I hope they enjoy it. I really do. And that's whether that's a $3 game or a $50 game. I'm just as nervous. I'm like, please, I hope you enjoyed it. That's usually how I respond to. I hope you enjoyed it. So anyway, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to take this time. It looks like we are progressing towards 12 minutes here. I was hoping to be much shorter, but anyway, we're just going to leave it at that, and I hope that answers those kind of questions for you, and I hope that helps, and I appreciate you guys stopping in and listening. We'll catch you next time.